There.
Gentlemen, my name is Bob, and I'm going to be your tour escort this afternoon out to our first stop. And on behalf of NASA and Kennedy Space Center, we thank you for being with us, and we hope you have a wonderful time while you're here at Kennedy Space Center. As we travel to our first stop, which is the Launch Complex 39 observation gantry, it'll take us about 15-16 minutes to get to our first stop. And once we get to the gantry, there you'll be able to go up into the tower and get a good look around Kennedy Space Center. 147,000 acres make up the Kennedy Space Center, and that includes the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. And from the tower, you'll also be able to get a good look into Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, which is just to the south and east of the gantry just a little bit. As we travel also, being on a National Wildlife Refuge, we have more than 500 different species of wildlife, and you're welcome to take pictures of anything that you like, except when we go through our security checkpoint, which is right around the corner up here. That type of wildlife doesn't like for you to take pictures of them. And so just say, they won't smile, so save your film. You can take a picture of Bob later, and I won't charge you a whole lot. Okay? Sound like a plan? Yeah. You're more than welcome. I'd do anything for you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Malone, Director of External Relations, and I'd like to welcome you to NASA's Kennedy Space Center, America's gateway to space. From pioneering human space flights to technological wonders like the Hubble Space Telescope, we've launched and carried the dreams of a nation. At Kennedy Space Center, we are focused on flying the remaining space shuttle missions safely and completing construction of the International Space Station. More than 4 decades ago, we launched humans to the moon from this very spaceport. Kennedy Space Center, and learn more about its vital role in America's space program.
They say it's big enough on top that you can sit Yankee Stadium and still have an acre of ground left over. The flag you're looking at is 21 stories on the VAB. The stripes are wide enough we could drive our bus down the stripes just like a lane of traffic. The blue Canton Field is as big as an NBA basketball court, and the stars are 6 feet across from point to point, and it's all hand painted on the VAB. The small building here by the Vehicle Assembly Building is what we call LCC, or Launch Control Center. Now the Launch Control Center will control the launch up to 7 seconds. At 7 seconds, it's handed over to Mission Control at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. On this side of the Vehicle Assembly Building, these doors are 456 feet in height, and this is the only side that they use to come in and out of the Vehicle Assembly Building, with the crawler transporter carrying a mobile launch platform and the shuttle stack from the VAB to the pad. It takes them about 6 to 8 hours to make that 3 to 3.5 mile trip from the VAB to the pad. And here you're going to get, look at the crawler up here. We don't normally get to see this like this. And so they're bringing, got that mobile launch platform is sitting on top of that. Now that mobile launch platform is the width of an 8-lane highway. I'm going to turn the video back on now and you can hear about this crawler.
transporter. Been on the crawler transporter now for about 20 years. Crawler is a vehicle that's used to move the shuttle and the mobile launch platform from the vehicle assembly building to the pad. It does equate pretty much just like being on a ship. It takes about 18 to 20 technicians and 7 engineers to move it along the crawlerway. Down the crawlerway at one time. And it is never routine. There's always something a little bit different. We're always changing the crawler just a little bit. We're always making it a little bit better. So it's enjoyable to work on. It's not how fast the crawler can move, it's how slow the crawler can move. The crawler itself is able to actually position.
All right, folks, off to the left, about 11 o'clock over here, left front side of the bus, that is launch pad 39A. That is our only active launch pad at this time. And 39B will be back off to the left over there, and it's undergoing some renovation. Here's the other crawler sitting here. There are only 2 of these in the whole world, and you got to see them both today, and we don't normally get to see either one of them. Off to the right, across the little body of water, that is Cape Canaveral Air Force Station over there. And you can see some of the launch pads up and down the Space Coast there. And those, you do have access to an elevator here. And you can spend whatever time you would like. When you get ready to go, just come on back out. Any of the buses will take you on to the next stop. Folks, have a wonderful time while you're here, and thanks for being with us.
Every inch of the orbiter for damage that may have occurred during the previous flight, making repairs, and getting the shuttle ready for its next mission.
The main job that our guys do here, we remove the engines from the vehicle, we bring the engine over to the main engine shop, we do some extensive inspections on the main engines, we remove and replace some of the components as required, we do leak checks, checkouts, and then we go reinstall the engine on the vehicle.
Skin underneath to 150 degrees to keep that aluminum from becoming soft. During re-entry, the hot plasma gas that flows around the orbiter gets upwards of 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and you need insulation material to keep the aluminum skin of the orbiter from actually melting.
Launch countdown will be initiated in 15 seconds.
The count starts formally about 2.5 days before the moment of liftoff. While countdown activities are controlled from the firing room in the Launch Control Center, workers at the pad complete their final tasks to prepare the shuttle for its journey. 6 hours before liftoff, all but a handful of workers leave the pad as extremely cold liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen are loaded into the external tank through an intricate system of pipes and valves. Potentially explosive hydrogen gas is also routed away from the tower to a flare stack where it can safely burn off. 3 hours before launch, the astronauts explosive nuts. The shuttle bends forward and then back. Umbilical systems and the hold-down bolts must remain attached until the final moment, just in case there is an engine cutoff, which aborts the launch.
Do a job and go perform a visual inspection of the exterior.
Hello, Isaiah. Here we go. Here we go. Isaiah. Isaiah.
They were shipped to us in a lot of different parts. It took them about a year to put them together here at Kennedy Space Center. Right in front of us is the crawlerway, detailing the recovery process of our solid rocket boosters.
Hi, I'm Dave Frank, and I'm master of the Freedom Star.
Part of mobile launcher platform, 9 million pounds of mobile launcher platform machinery. Now, if the shuttle was on top of the mobile launcher platform right now, The tail fin of the orbiter would be right between those two tall service masts that you see on top of the mobile launcher platform. Now the crawler has the ability to raise or lower this entire platform another 6 feet. You can see 4 hydraulic cylinders on each corner of that platform. And the reason they would do that is to lift our mobile launcher platform and completed shuttle assembly off of pedestals in the vehicle. That barge over there on the left that looks like a quant off of our shuttle landing facility like an aircraft. The nose wheel of Discovery will follow this blue line all the way down from the southern tip of our shuttle landing facility. Now the southern tip of our shuttle landing facilities, you will see a manatee, or you'll see nothing. To bring in rocket fuel for the Saturn V rocket and 8 rock stars, movie stars, bus drivers, things like that. Now look between the building and the bleachers. That's pad 39A. Right there. That's where Discovery was launched from. And you're only 3.5 miles away. And it's just an incredible view to see a shuttle launch from here. You see it.
When I was a kid, I used to dream about flying through space.
When history is not being made, destiny is being embraced.
Attention all personnel, the countdown clock will start on my mark at T-minus 3 minutes.
Apollo 8 successfully orbited the moon, and the astronauts returned safely to the Earth. I know. I'm Jim Lovell, and I was one of the crew of this spacecraft, Apollo 8. We were the first men to see the surface of the moon from just a few miles away. But it was the hundreds of thousands of men and women who worked in that team, and the millions of people who supported the mission that really made it possible. That way, I guess, we all went to the moon. Now, on the other side of those doors, you'll find an actual Saturn V moon model. It's still the most powerful, the most complex machine ever built. And I guess it's the only one that can take you to another planet. I actually got to fly one on the second flight to the moon called Apollo 13. But that's another story.
working from July until August of 2008. Then he started working for
You going to the water?
and Casey Anthony. Now, as Dominic Casey's attorney Diana Tennis argued, all he knows in the case of
You going to the
Casey
water?
Anthony is privileged information. And when Gonzalez's attorneys did not believe her, Tennis unexpectedly put her